Welcome to Catch-UpLAB series on business studies. The study of a business is a vast field, but most importantly, the topics covered in your grade 10, 11 or 12 work are interconnected. It'll therefore be very important and essential for you to understand that you will constantly have to revise topics that you have already covered. This is where our channel comes in handy. We compress the information for you and divide it up into logical, easy, understandable episodes covering all the topics that form part of the required work. Apart from providing you with study support, the different topics covered in grades 10, 11 and 12 are always available. It will therefore be very easy for you to revise a topic that needs some dusting off in the file system of your brain. Business studies is one of the most beneficial subjects you can choose. Business studies will not only prepare you to start a business of your own, but will also introduce you into the inner workings of various fields like marketing, human resource management, logistics, project management, production of goods, engineering, and the stock market, to name but only a few examples. This means that if you do business studies in school, you'll be able to understand the more specialized fields associated with business, which are also essential to the success of a business. Quick study tip. When studying any subject, you need to understand the meaning of the words or terminology used in the information. If you don't understand the words, you cannot fully understand the concepts. Don't just assume that you know the words. Look them up on the internet or use a dictionary. I have identified some of these words and terminology in the videos and will stop to focus on them from time to time. I will give you a brief example. The word micro and macro. The word micro comes from the Greek word mikros, meaning small. You are probably familiar with the word microchip, a very small part of our cell phones, computers, televisions, etc. So whenever you come across the word micro as a prefix in business studies, you should always think small. In business, the word is usually used as a prefix together with another word like environment. The word microenvironment refers to internal structures in your business like mission statements, objectives, your internal management structures, resources needed for your business, and lastly, the business culture you want to create. These are things you can mostly control in your company. Immediately, by understanding the word micro, you can visualize how it refers to the important yet small things a business owner needs to have in place to run their business. By understanding what micro means, you can infer that macro means the opposite. Macro comes from the Greek word makros, meaning large or long. We use the word macro as a prefix when referring to something that exists on a large scale or the overall composition of something. Take a second and think of large or overall factors that are needed to conduct business. In other words, what helps businesses generate money? We will discuss these factors in detail, but macro environment studies will include socioeconomic, legal, technological, political, economic, and international. Unlike microenvironments, macroenvironments are outside of your control as a business owner. I hope you understand how important it is to understand words and terminology. We easily assume that if we've heard a word before, that we understand it and continue without double-checking what the word really means or the context in which the word can be used. You will now never forget that micro means small and macro means large. Every time you read information about these environments, your brain will automatically understand the more detailed information and store it in the correct pathway and file for you to easily retrieve during assessments. Lastly, I'm going to set out a challenge for you. Think of a business that you would like to create, start, and operate. It can be a service-oriented business or a production business. After watching this video, write down a few ideas. You don't have to go into detail unless you want to. Think of a basic product or service. Give your business a name and decide how big you want this business to be. It can be anything, in any industry. When you start watching the videos on this channel, always keep the business that you have created in the back of your mind. You can think of how the information you study is applicable to your business. Making the information you study practical will help you to understand the flow of the business and what you need to think of to manage it successfully. Personalize your business during your studies as far as possible. If you take design as a subject, you can even go as far as creating a logo and business card, maybe even a marketing campaign. This is why business studies can be fun. You can dream big, and who knows, maybe that fantasy company becomes a reality and you are the next Fortune 500 business owner. And that concludes the business day. In the next video, we will be discussing business environments, what they are, and some of the challenges you might face in these different environments.